Good morning, students. Today we are going to take up A.G. Gardiner's essay on superstitions. A.G. Gardiner, that is Alfred George Gardiner, was an English journalist, editor, and author. His essays, written under the pseudonym Alpha of the Plough, are highly regarded. His essays are uniformly elegant, graceful, and humorous. His uniqueness lies in his ability to teach the basic truths of life in an easy and amusing manner. The collections, Pillars of Society, Pebbles on the Shore, Many Furrows, and Leaves in the Wind are some of his best known writings. A.G. Gardner has always written his essays under the pseudonym that is Alpha of the Plough. It's very important. Alpha of the Plough. So, on superstitions, he talks generally on superstitions. What is superstition? First of all, let's discuss superstition. Superstition. Superstition is a illogical belief, a belief that doesn't have any kind of logic. Superstitions are not based on facts or logic or reason. Rather, they are they are transferred through traditions. Superstitions are conventional and traditional. We hear through the mouth of our predecessors, our forefathers, our parents, and we transfer the same thing, the same belief that is illogical to our coming generation. And we always live under the fear of superstitions that something bad will happen with us, something something evil will happen to us. Though superstitions are not based on logic, rather, we receive them from our parents, from society, and from the traditions. In this essay, A.G. Gardner analyzes the themes of fear, control, superstition, logic, tradition, insecurity, and escape. This essay on superstitions is taken from his Alpha of the Plough. Here, the reader realizes after reading the essay that Gardner may be exploring the theme of fear. Fear. Man has a fear of the unknown, and to alleviate this fear, he creates superstitions which may or may not calm his mind. The walking of an individual under a ladder in the street rather than underneath the ladder is one of these fears or superstitions. The walking of an individual around a ladder in the street rather than underneath the ladder is one of the fears or superstitions. We people never, what we believe that we should not walk underneath the ladder because it's a bad omen. The reality is that it is highly unlikely for someone to be injured by walking underneath the ladder. However, people prefer to walk around it. It is possible that Gardner is suggesting that many superstitions or fears are illogical. Take the number 13 for example. Many people consider it to be a bad omen, yet there is no reason for it to be. It is, after all, just another number, as Gardiner himself knows by traveling on the bus. If anything, if anything, man appears to wish to escape through superstition rather than risk facing a reality he may or may not be sure of. It simply isn't practical, as Gardner suggests, to hold up the House of Commons due to thunder, a case that occurred during Cato's election Rome. In reality, it is an individual's unwillingness to challenge their fear that gives rise to the continuation of superstitions in modern times. Also, on many occasions, people do not know why they are superstitious. It is something that has always been there or taught to them by their elders, who also may not know why it is unlucky to walk underneath a ladder. Tradition plays a large part in superstitions, and it is by word of mouth that superstitions are prevalent in society today. Nobody has a reasonable explanation for most superstitions apart from the fact that by not adhering to a superstition, an individual gets uncomfortable. Rather than dealing with the discomfort or fear, an individual decides instead to pay observance to the superstition. It may also be a case that the individual who adheres to superstition is in fact insecure within themselves, knowing that should should they not follow the superstition, something wrong might occur. This is in itself illogical, as man does not have the power to determine whether a number 13 bus is unlucky. Adherence to superstitions can also cause problems for people. They will not only become afraid, but they will become irrational or illogical. So, for example, a man does not wish to travel on the number 13 bus. His only option is to find another bus, most likely at a different bus stop too, which will safely carry him home. By doing so, the individual is allowing for superstition to take control of his life. Yet, he may not be prepared to admit to it. It is one thing being superstitious, but telling another person is a different matter, as they may view the individual as being foolish or old fashioned in their beliefs, particularly when the individual can provide no evidence as to why they are superstitious. It is better for a person to live their life free of superstition. Life will be less cumbersome and annoying should a person do so. There is no advantage to living one's life superstitious, and if anything, it will only create more problems for an individual. It is easier to dismiss superstition and to be more scientific in approach, something that those who came before were unable to do. It is for this reason that Gardner may be suggesting that an individual, due to the due to the advancements in science, has no reason to be superstitious. The number 13 is just another number. The sound of thunder is just that, a sound of thunder, and does not dictate the course of an election. In modern times, man has to be more sensible in his approach to superstitions. To be logical when he can and cast aside any fear he may have based on information from his elders, who, as mentioned, may not necessarily know why one should be superstitious. Life will be easier for the individual who carries on with their life without hindering themselves with the nonsensical superstitions that society teaches us. A man who enjoys a life free of superstitions will be happier than a man who believes in superstitions. He will walk under a ladder without thinking, choose the number 13 bus should it be purposeful to him, and disregard any signs in weather that superstition dictates is a bad omen. If anything, life is simpler for the man who can think for himself without allowing for superstition to overcrowd him. A free mind is powerful mind and one that will not allow itself to be hindered by superstition. Dear students, if we talk about our own life in Indian context, we are extremely superstitious. There is a very famous superstition that is, when you leave your home or when you are walking, when you are driving, and a cat crosses your way, what happens? You feel that it's very bad. That is superstition. When a cat crosses your way and you feel it's bad, but it's illogical, it's irrational. Nothing happens if you cross the way. And if you think that it's bad, then it's bad. You are living under the fear. Your mind is under the control of fear, and you can't live freely. And you get late by doing your work. You can't do your work on time, and you stop. You waste your time, nothing else. And a person who does not believe in superstition, the person reaches in time to office and to the destination and does his work or her work on time. And you always lag behind because you follow the superstitions. That's all for today and have a nice day. Thank you. God bless you.